Did you know that Montgomery County has its own airport? Yep, we do, and it's located in Gaithersburg, just east of Montgomery Village. It's a general aviation airport. That means no airlines fly in and out of there. Their clientele are private planes and corporate jets, many of which serve businesses and perform community service. Back in October, this airport celebrated a milestone, and our cameras were there. On October 9, 2010, the Montgomery County Airpark in Gaithersburg held its annual open house. Each year they open their doors to the community to share the excitement of flying, as well as highlight the contributions this airpark makes to the region at large. But on this particular Saturday, the airpark was also celebrating a milestone: 50 years of service in Montgomery County. Developer and entrepreneur Bill Richardson is the reason there's an airpark here at all. When Congressional Airport in Rockville was closing in 1959, Richardson saw the need for a new airport. Teaming up with his son Jim, as well as their flight instructor Dick Kreuzburg, the men purchased a nearly 400-acre farm in Gaithersburg.
It was all farmland, basically. It was an area that was outside of the Washington, D.C. and Baltimore airspace, so it was a perfect fit to do a general aviation airport.
Bill Richardson's plan was to build the airpark, then give it to the county in exchange for a 99-year lease to operate it. He also found a unique way to finance the project.
The way that it was practical for him to do it, to put the money into it, was to get zoning around the airport for industrial usage. And that's how we were able to finance the airport, was through the sale of industrial property.
Construction began early in 1960. This hangar was the first building to go up, followed by 2 individual stall hangars around the corner. A nearly 3,200-foot runway was installed. Once all this was complete, it was time to celebrate. On October 22, 1960, the Montgomery County Airpark hosted a grand opening.
It was a nice fall day, about like this. Several political dignitaries from the county and the state, and we had our little talks and did some airplane rides similar to what they're doing today, and had quite a few airplanes fly in from adjacent airports around, on the nearby East Coast. And that's about what it was. Ribbon cutting, and that was it. And we got to work.
Operating under the name of Free State Aviation, Kreuzburg and Richardson's business flourished.
We rented hangars and sold fuel.
There was about 40 planes based here.
At that time, we did maintenance.
We had 1 flight instructor, 1 airplane.
And we also sold airplanes.
As planned, ownership of the airpark fell to Montgomery County and its revenue authority. Current airport manager John Luke says their responsibilities haven't really changed over the years.
We, the Revenue Authority, are responsible for all the common areas of the airport, the airfield itself, taxiways, navigational aids, that type of thing. And also we're charged with the safe operation of the airport.
In the beginning, the airpark grew very quickly. In 1965, this terminal building was added, featuring a popular restaurant and viewing deck. The runway was expanded to 4,200 feet in order to accommodate jets. Today, about 190 aircraft can be housed here, both inside and out. 1 new hangar is devoted to a full-fledged maintenance operation. But despite the growth, operations didn't change much. The biggest impact was on 9/11.
Previous to that, a pilot could come in and out with really no contact with anybody, land, take off, 24 hours a day. After 9/11, to come in here now, you need a clearance from the air traffic control. And it's monitored very, very carefully because they want to know where everybody is coming in and out of this area with the proximity to Washington.
But despite the setback, this airport is thriving, as was evident to anyone attending this anniversary celebration.
We have aerial demonstrations, which you just saw. We have the World War II, what I call the bombers, the World War II Collins Foundation aircraft, which is a B-17 bomber, a B-24 Liberator, and a P-51 fighter plane. They're static displays. We have all of our flying clubs have their aircraft on displays. We have different antique aircraft, modern new aircraft on display, some manufacturers. Some of the groups we have here today and fly out of here regularly are the Civil Air Patrol, the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, Angel Flight.
This airpark not only augments our transportation infrastructure and supports business development, it also provides recreational opportunities along with some valuable community services. County Council member Phil Andrews explains.
And it also serves as a place where the Angel Flight organization helps fly people out of here to hospitals across the country where they can get specialized care. So it's a resource in many, many ways.
And how does Jim Richardson react to the success of this place?
It showed that my dad had quite a bit of vision, I guess, and when we put this thing together. And the industrial park, of course, around the airport was 260, 70 acres, and it's all fully developed now. There's no vacant property on that. It's been a good growth, there's no question about that.
And keeping things all in the family, Jim's daughter, Sandy Richardson Poe, has taken over the airport operations under a new name, DC Aviation Services. She explains that her mission is to expand the airport offerings with an emphasis on being a good neighbor.
Probably one of the biggest challenges that we hope to improve is just the overall understanding of what general aviation is about, communicating to the public why the airport's here, what we do here, and the good things that come out of the airport.
All in all, the anniversary celebration was a huge success. Dick Kreuzburg couldn't contain his amazement at the crowds visiting this airpark he had a hand in creating 50 years ago.
I really can't believe it, because we had a crowd when we opened, but there's more people here that they can see right here than we had then by far, and it's just amazing, really.
If you missed this year's open house, don't worry. They do one every year. For more information, visit their website at www.montgomerycountyairpark.com.